This guy checks all the boxes.
Welcome to the wrap-up presented by ALLSTATE. I'm Skubie Mageza, joined by Sam Ravech,
you got it,
and my boy Jason Fitz. What's happening, y'all? I mean, every week I say this, it is a crazy week of college football, and I think it's just going to continue to get better. Thoughts on the craziness we saw? Overtimes, game-winning moments?
I mean, it's been insane today. For a week that a lot of people going in thought that, we kind of thought we knew what was going on. I think we kind of realized we don't know anything so far. Like, I think there's so many questions that we can still ask throughout the rest of the show. So,
Fitz.
Let's ask the most important question first. Like, what was this something I said? Like, it's like my breast stink. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm all the way over here. You guys are all the way over there. It's very sad for me. But
listen, we sat next to each other earlier today, and we figured we might as well get some room to separate ourselves. Maybe it's because you're a little bit older than us, but hey. Speaking a little bit old, we saw somebody who was a little bit old doing something at Penn State. I don't know if everybody missed this or not, but Penn State had some tryouts earlier this week and had a special candidate among the group. Chad Powers, a.k.a. Eli Manning, showed up and showed out, and it was trending everywhere. And what they ended up doing was giving fans a chance to run a 40-yard dash and see if they could beat Chad Powers' time. If you did, you won a T-shirt. So you see that, was it a 5.4, 5?
It was a 5.5.
You're going to make me run that fast and I get a T-shirt?
So my question to you is, Fitz, do you think you could win yourself a T-shirt by running Chad Powers 40?
Okay. Oh, hell no. Like, there's no way I'm going to run faster than Eli Manning because I'm slow and I got tight hips. That's what I tell everybody. But more importantly, you're like, I don't get out of bed for a free T-shirt. No. Like, I want more than that if I'm going to run that fast. I mean, Sam, back me up here. There's no way you're running. You're going to, like, Fitz that much to get a T-shirt? No.
You're making it sound like running a 40 is like running 27 miles.
I'm saying,
like,
it's not that bad.
I think we could beat a 5.5 40. I mean, that's pretty slow. I think Eli's got to get out of the basement a little bit. Maybe.
Well, we'll shout out Eli Manning for being able to run faster than Fitz, which we're trying to give him a little bit credit. But now it's time for us to give some Saturday shout-outs, as it is always our favorite part of the show. We're going to recap everything that went on through the week, through the day that you might have missed. So we're going to start off with our biggest trickster, and this one came from Baylor. And they were up by 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. Felt like diving deep into that playbook. How about a jet sweep into a flea flicker with Blake Shapen finding the wide open man in Gavin Holmes. 38-yard touchdown. Fitz, you and I could have caught that touchdown on that field.
But why are you showing that play right there? Like, you had this game without it. I don't really, like, that's a beautiful play call. I really like it. I just would have held it for a game where I needed it.
I mean, there was nobody within 30 yards. I mean, that's embarrassing. Talk about miscommunication.
That's when you got to shout out the offensive coordinator for being able to come up with a great design like that, because clearly they weren't ready for it. So shout out to y'all for that. They weren't prepared. So our next one is most unprepared. And there was clock management issues in Dallas.
This is bad.
But it wasn't the coaches or the refs' fault. It was 96 degrees, and the heat took the clock out of commission. What are we doing? Do we not have any type of preparation for the heat that is out there?
Or making Texas sound like it's, the Sahara Desert. I mean, this is something that should have been prepared for, I think, Fitz. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, we're not playing a game in the 7th layer of hell. Like, it's just a hot football game. They do this remarkably in Texas and in Vegas and in Miami. I mean, like,
have you ever seen this in Vegas? You're a big UNLV fan.
Yeah, well,
has their clock ever shut down?
No, I've never seen. Look, this feels like when you're at the pool and all of a sudden you look down on your phone and it's like, no, you got me overheated. Like, you would think that there'd be some sort of mechanism in place for it, and I don't trust it. Like, now what? We got, like, the ref going to be looking down at a stopwatch or something?
Got his Apple Watch going.
Yeah.
Got his Apple Watch going like Marvin Harrison Jr. has it in the Ohio State game right now. But okay. Our next one, biggest slap. And, David Aranda is usually not your rah-rah type of coach, but today he was feeling a little rah-rah. How about playing a little slap ass on the sideline? Hey, you. Bam. Oh, who else wants it? Anybody else? You want some slap ass too? Let me go ahead and give you a nice little slap ass. That reminds me of the Key and Peele little segment that they have, the slap ass scene. I mean, shout out to Orlando for that.
Well, also, like, notice one thing about that clip. The reactions from the coaches. Like, look, if I run up to a stranger and I slap him on the ass that way, I'm going to get a reaction. If we're close friends, we don't know each other that way, and I slap you on the ass, I'm going to get a reaction. For him to slap both of them so aggressively and have it be no big deal means he's doing that all the time. Like, this is a standard practice for them. There's that sort of ass slapping everywhere.
I mean, you can't do that. What are we doing here? You can't just. I mean, look, it's great. It's sports. Yeah, you do this kind of thing, but that seemed a little bit too much and very, very aggressive.
So we're not doing that at the end of the show. Like, there's no. Okay, I'm just checking.
It's getting a little late for that.
Keep your hands to yourself. All right, they showed a lot of spirit in it, so let's go to most spirited. Tennessee is known for their iconic orange and white checkered pattern, but most fans, they just wear it on their gear. But this guy decided to take it to the next level and put it on his beard. This is dope. What do you guys think of this? I mean, you got a little bit of a beard action going here, Sam. Maybe you could do something with that. Does that inspire you for UConn, maybe?
No, my wife who's probably watching knows that the beard is not something that's her favorite thing. But look, Tennessee and Florida have been waiting for this match for like 20 years for this to be good again. So look, you go all out for this. This is a game that you go all out for because who knows if it comes around again, Fitzy.
All right, Fitz. I don't know your opinion on this beard whole thing, but you got the baby face. So
I'm all in, but somebody had to do that to him too, right? Like somebody had to go in and actually change the beard up on him. That took an assist. I want to know who got the assist on that one.
All right, Chilla's dog. We're staying in Tennessee. Their mascot had a little fear about the outcome of the game, and he's getting a little suntan on the stands. And this is cool. A dog looking like a cool cat. I've said this before. Mascot just enjoying himself. Go a little crowd surfing there.
I'm in for this as long as we don't have to hear Rocky Top while it happens anymore. No offense, Vols fans. Just as Rocky Top's obnoxious. I mean, I'm just going to say it.
By the way, he was on a corn float. Anyone see that? He was on a corn float, like the It's Corn meme. Nobody saw that but me?
Well done. Well, all right, wildest touchdown is next. And we're wrapping up. Wrapping up and tackling is something that Texas A&M doesn't seem to do here. Because
this is crazy.
They get the fumble, and now it's time to run it back. Arkansas just doesn't know how to wrap up anybody. They run it back, 80-some yard touchdown, and this one broke the game into something else for Texas and gave them the momentum. I don't know if we're playing backyard football or not, but this is something that you dream of as a little kid.
Broke the internet too, Like everybody was talking about that. That's one of the weirder touchdowns we are going to see throughout the whole year, right?
Yeah, changed the game too. Plus, I mean, sure, we'll talk about that, but that's a game changer.
All right, now biggest clapback, and this comes from someone who quacks. Let's call it a quackback. After dropping 29 points on Washington State in the fourth quarter, it was 44-41 for Oregon to get the win, and the mascot was feeling himself and decided to salute the artist Young Gravy on Twitter. Call me Young Gravy, the way I be taking out these Cougars. Wow. I mean, just throw the shade on Twitter if you're really feeling yourself after a win. And shout out to Bo Nix for not being Bo Picks. I've said it before.
I like the tweet, though. There's this aggressive social media thing happening now with whoever handles all of these accounts that I'm all in for. I want that trash talk and I want that creativity. I want the artwork. That's become one of the more I think, entertaining parts of fandom is just scrolling through to see what your favorite team posts after a win. That's good. I just wonder what that Glorious Duck account has to say after a loss. I don't know.
Yeah, what's up with the mascots, by the way? Feeling a little feisty. We saw Brutus take somebody out in the end zone earlier tonight, and now we got the Duck is quack. I mean, I don't know. I'm all for it, but it's interesting.
The Twitter fingers are popping.
No, but the Duck doesn't have thumbs.
No, yeah.
So how's the Duck typing better than I can? I don't know.
Well, I love to see it. Just all out of mayhem, which brings us to our next segment. Time now for our mayhem moment from today's action, brought to you by ALLSTATE. And mayhem is exactly what we saw in the ending of the Mizzou and Auburn game. Caden Bridges recovers a fumble in the end zone to give Auburn a 17-14 overtime win. after they kicked that field goal to go up by 3. And then Nathaniel Pete fumbles in the end zone for a potential game-winning touchdown. Caden Bridges recovers, bringing the Tigers to 3-1 on the season. But the ending of this game was straight up drunk, and I think everyone can agree when we say this win ended up feeling more like a loss for Auburn, Sam.
Yeah, no question. This was embarrassing on a lot of fronts. Missouri, number one, had like 3 chances to win this game outright and didn't. Auburn went up 14-0 in the first quarter and didn't score again until overtime. It was such an interesting game. I don't know if we'll see another one like it, but look, Auburn's probably still going to have their coach on the hot seat next week, no question.
Guys, I also, one of the toughest things we've seen throughout the course of the day, we've made some jokes about it, are missed kicks. Missouri had a chance to make an easy kick to win this game. The unfortunate thing is when you're a wide receiver, you get another shot at it the next drive. When you're a running back, you fumble, you get another shot at it. When your quarterback throws a pick, you get another shot at it. These kids that are out there kicking, and their lasting legacy are those kicks that they make or miss. I actually feel for Missouri in this situation because it was a very winnable football game. It's going to haunt that kid, that team, that campus for a very long time that they didn't get it done.
Yeah, Fitz, you make such a good point on that because Auburn did have a second chance at their kick because they went for the field goal, missed, 5-yard penalty, gave the kicker a second opportunity to kick the field goal, and he made it. So not often do they get second opportunities, but they were able to get one there, which ended up in a win for the team. Now let's take a look at the other action going on from today. Taking a look at Georgia, they handled business against Kent State, but let me tell you something, it was not easy. The score is not indicative to how this game ended up being. 39-22, still a great win, and man, we thought Wisconsin could cover this game.
We went 0 for 3 in that pick there between all of us.
They almost did. I mean, no, they didn't.
Not really. No.
Oh, man.
We were off.
Not the greatest week for Kent State and Wisconsin, but hey, they got the win. And Michigan getting that 7-point win. We'll see how they end up doing next week.
All right. Scooby, you know this about me by now. I love my Halloween movies. Sam, you'll find that out. So I've always wanted to say this. I want to play a game. It's scarier when Jigsaw says it, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to play a game. So by the numbers, but it's over-under. We're using some of my Vegas love here. So simple thing here. I'm going to read you guys some eyebrow-raising stats, right? And as I read those, you're going to have to guess whether the correct number is over or under what I tell you. And in fact, I think we have some fancy signs for you. Are you guys ready?
Let's see.
Oh, as a matter of fact, we do.
These are terrific, by the way.
Indubitably.
Props.
Yeah.
Look at that. So
Shout out to our producer, Shelby, by the way.
So, what are you gonna make it? Okay, Scooby, turn yours to the right side. There we go. Now, if it's over, you point it up. If it's under, you point it down. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
All right. The first one, we're gonna start with a little Georgia. We'll throw to Scooby first on this. Georgia outscored. Georgia's offense scored 18 touchdowns this season before its defense allowed 1. Over or under 18. So 18 offensive touchdowns before their defense allowed 1. Scooby, you going over or under 18?
Under.
Well, I know exactly when they allowed that touchdown, the first one, and it was in garbage time.
Yeah. I don't think they had that 18 touchdowns.
I'm going to go over. I think they have the 18.
Oh, we already have our first split, and the answer is under.
Ooh. Yes, sir.
16. The number is 16. Very close here. Georgia outscored its first 3 opponents by 120 points.
My
the
goodness.
4th largest margin by a defending national champion since 1980. By the way, the previous 3 all played for the title again. So how about that? All right.
And I think it's
move to the
interesting
next
how
one here.
Kent State found a way to score more points.
A
today
ton
than
of points
anybody.
today.
Well, you know.
Shout out to them, by
Hey,
the way.
Polly positive right now. I'm positive we're moving on to Bama. Sam, you get the first shot at this one. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Alabama has won 20 straight games versus Vanderbilt. Over or under on 20?
Roll Tide. I mean,
Best answer.
if it's anything with Bama, I'm going to go over.
Okay.
I'm going to ride with you on this one.
All right. Well, you're both correct.
Yeah.
The answer is 22. So entering tonight's matchup, 22, now 23 at this point. Alabama's won 22 straight on the field against Vandy. That includes a forfeited win in 1993. Fun fact, it was probably more fun to watch than most of the actual games.
Ooh.
All right. We'll move to the next one here as I throw all sorts of shade at Vandy as we do by the numbers. Through their first 4 games, Scooby, the Wolverines were favored by a combined 140 points. Over or under? 140 points through the first 3 games. Trash opponents. Any comment to that, or are we just going to throw the...
That's a big over.
You know, I think everyone overestimated Michigan, so I'm going to go with the over on that because I remember one of them was like 40-something.
Yeah. I'm going to go over 2. They played UConn. So
He's a big UConn fan, by the way.
You could have said he's the big UConn fan.
The UConn fan. The UConn fan.
All right, well, you're both correct. The answer is over, 148.5. By the way,
I still got the lead, by the way.
Games,
yeah, you do.
It was 131.5. It is just gross. They played absolutely nobody.
Yeah.
So let's go to somebody that did play somebody, and that's Wake Forest. Over or under? Sam, Wake Forest has lost 50 straight games versus AP top 10 teams. Over or under?
We both know the answer to this question.
It's unfortunate, and they came so close.
You know what? I'll give either of you a bonus point that I'm not actually authorized to give you if you can tell me the exact number of consecutive games they've lost to AP top 10 teams.
63.
63, I think.
Okay, so
Today
you
was
both
63.
Okay, you both get the bonus point. Fine. How about this? Never mind. I got nothing. I thought I could turn it into one more question. You both win. All right, let's go to the next one. There are 3 basketball schools that are undefeated right now. Over or under, Scooby? 3 basketball schools.
Right now, as of this show.
Yes, as of this show right now. We have our second disagreement.
3. Here we go. I know I got this one.
The answer is
Show me
under.
the money.
The answer is under. Kansas and Kentucky. Duke and North
lost
Carolina
today.
lost.
So, yeah. There was 4.
What about Syracuse? What about Syracuse?
I mean, how far out are we stretching this?
All right, we're talking about Blue Bloods.
Wait, hold on. We're even right now.
You got
We're
that.
even.
You got that.
We got a tie game going into this one. All right, Clemson has outscored their opponents by 170 points through their first 4 games. Over or under, Sam? 170.
Clemson's had a good start.
Sorry. Not outscored. They have scored 170 points. Outscored would be a record.
Yes, over.
They've scored 170 points. Over
They've scored a lot of points.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm going to go.
after today, they put.
It's a lot of points. I don't know if it's 170.
Today.
It's a lot of points.
It's 175. You're both correct.
Okay.
So we'll move on. All right. North Carolina football hasn't been 4-0 in 20 seasons. Over or under? 20 years since they started 4-0. Scooby, what do you got?
I'm gonna go ahead with the under.
It's right around 20 years. I know that.
It's got to be real close to it.
Boy, you guys are both playing safe. It's 25 years. 25, so it was over.
Wow.
You guys are both wrong.
Hey, as long as I still got, are we tied?
No, we're tied now.
You're tied. It comes down to this. We have one more question. We'll go with some O-H-I. Oh, I don't know how to do the I, but I don't know. The Buckeyes are averaging 45 points per game this season. Coming into tonight, averaging 45 points per game this season. Over or under? Sam?
Over.
Scooby? With no
Over.
comments.
Over.
Scooby, was that because you just don't want to lose, or you're afraid to go for the win? Because you're a little scared there.
I'm like that kid in class that was looking at somebody
You're
else's
cheating?
paper before I submitted my answer. I'm gonna go with the over.
It's over.
The answer is over. 47.7 points. So it's barely over.
Right there, huh?
Right, but look, we ended up with a tie. You know what? Over.
Everybody wins.
Everybody
This game
wins.
is over. That's what's happening now. Speaking of games, we played one. So did Kansas today, and theirs went particularly well.
Oh no, baby. Let's go. Rock choke. Come on, man. That's how you pack the boot, bro. On to week 5.
Beat the odds, the numbers, and remain humble. You know what the dog called for?
4-0, baby. 4-0. We got more, man.
Hey, the crowd was electric. Hey, thank y'all for coming out. Come to the next game.
Hey, 4-0, man. We coming out. We working. Same goal next week. We shooting for 5 right here. Hey, 4-0, man. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It don't stop now.
Speaking of Kansas, let's check out the unbeatable performances from today, brought to you by Xfinity. We got their QB, Jalen Daniels. He had a sensational day against Duke. He went 19 of 23 for 324 yards and a career-high 4 passing touchdowns. He led the team in rushing with 83 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown, and he led the Jayhawks to a 21-13 lead at the halftime. Thanks to the 3 touchdown passes from Daniel, Kansas went 3 for 4 in the red zone. They're one of the best teams in the red zone in the entire country, and he accounted for 5 touchdowns today for the Jayhawks. And I think it's about time they rank Kansas, Sam, and it's about time we start to respect them more.
Kansas is for real. There's no question about it. I was saying Jalen Daniels, you know, what he's done the last 2 weeks, I think you say, all right, this kid's for real. We're talking Heisman. We're talking best quarterback in the Big 12. Max Duggan may have an argument with TCU, but yeah, Kansas is for real, Fitzy.
Yeah, no doubt are they for real. And also Lance Leipold has just done a wonderful job. I mean, this is what he's done everywhere he's ever gone, whether it's Whitewater, Wisconsin Whitewater, whether it's Buffalo. Now he likes his super athletic quarterback that can beat you a bunch of ways. And if you go back and watch any of those highlights we just showed again, look at how often Jalen Daniels was actually delivering the ball with incredible touch while he was off his back foot. He doesn't have to have great fundamentals in front of him to be able to make a great throw. I think that speaks to his ability for the rest of the season moving forward. Kansas is legit at this point. They are a top 25 team. And Lance Leipold's name's only going to get hotter and hotter and hotter as everyone sees what he's done.
Jalen Daniels, 3-star recruit out of high school, by the way. So you know he's looking to prove something.
Yeah, and you saw it today. The way that he played, I love that you said Heisman, because I've almost been biting my tongue to not say it. But hey, let's go ahead and say it. Let's bring on the Jalen Daniels Heisman train.
Why not?
Shout out to Kansas, 4-0 to start the season. Just looking at their schedule going forward, they got Iowa State next, TCU, and then Oklahoma. So we'll see how those next 3 games will go, and they'll continue to climb up those rankings, because you know they'll definitely be up there. Now, speaking of a team that might climb up some rankings, let's go to the Arkansas-Texas and A&M game. Number 10 Arkansas taking on number 23 Texas A&M. First quarter, Arkansas up 7-0. KJ Jefferson goes deep and finds Warren Thompson for the 56-yard bomb. They got up 14-0 at this point, and you're feeling good about this team. So third quarter, it's a 7-point game. Jefferson fumbles the rock as he tries to go over, and then what happens next is over the top. Texas A&M plays backyard football here, y'all. With the lateral handoff, they go 82 yards for the fumble return. They'd miss the PAT to make it a 14-13 game. Wild play here, as you see on the fans' faces. Next Aggie drive, Devin A-Chain, do what he does. Being A-Train, 159 yards rushing on the ground and a touchdown for him. Texas A&M goes up 20-14, but hold up. Here comes the Razorbacks. Jefferson says, I'll put the team on my back. And he goes to work, a QB that can run the ball. He had 105 yards rushing on the ground and that touchdown. Lead cut to 1. Late in the fourth, same score. Cam Little has a chance to do something big. But what's this? Oh, is that a doink off the top of the upright? Where do you see that? Why can't kickers kick? And why did Texas A&M just get an upset? If you call it an upset, whatever you want, they get the win, 23-21. Fitz, this is a huge win for them, especially with how everyone felt about this team. But I'll say it once and I said it again. Arkansas tends to get us all hyped up, but at some point of the season, they disappoint us.
We talked about this earlier, though, that highlight play. I think it is an important moment to remember that this game was on the verge of being 21-7. How much differently are they playing the inside? Because you mentioned A-Chain, who's been absolutely incredible all season. But if you're down by 2 touchdowns, it changes the entire approach. That one play, as incredible a highlight as it is, when you have Jefferson fumbling on the way into the end zone, it changes everything in this game. Arkansas is going to look back at this all year, guys, and just look at it and say, how do we let that one get away?
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think we got to remember, too, for Arkansas, for as far as they've come, they didn't win a single SEC game in 2018 and 2019. What Sam Pittman's done there has just been tremendous. I think they still have a ways to go. I do think that they still need to get over the hump. Look, it's a long season. I'm not going to rule Arkansas out for anything, but yeah, this is a big, big win for Texas A&M.
Yeah, when you look back at this game, that fumble return is the key moment that you'll say, all right, like the probability went from, you know how they have that probability went from the 90s to the 10% for Arkansas, because that changed the game completely. And then I'd like to bring up Devin A-Chain. He's been one of the brightest lights on this offense because they've struggled at the quarterback position. They haven't been able to get big plays out of their wide receivers consistently, but A-Chain has been consistently productive in the kick return game, in the rushing game, you name it. He has been huge for this team, Sam, and I'm sure that they're going to continue to lean on him going forward. He put up some fantasy football type numbers. So let's start to talk about our own fantasy football game that we have going on with our digital talent. So what we do is each week we pick one player, and we can only choose that player once this season and see how they score fantasy football style. These are the players that all of our crew chose this week. Christine, she balled out by choosing C.J. Stroud. I'm not sure how your guy is doing right now. USC not doing so hot for your boy. But let's check out how we're all doing on the season. Where are you, Fitz? Oh, okay.
Third. I'm in third after a big move. Let me just be clear about this. Like, my name's highlighted there because nobody had a bigger week than I did.
Fitz had himself a big week last week, climbing up the rankings. But as of now, 4 weeks in, I'm still up there. Fitz and Christine are climbing up on me, and I don't have a good feeling about how things are shaking out with how things have been going on. But now let's see how things are going on with our top four, because we know it's only 4 teams, 4 teams for the playoffs. And a little discretion just for my boys here on set. We made these picks before the game started tonight. So we'll start with Fitz's top 4 weeks in.
Can't wait
Fitz,
to hear this.
Drop it down for you.
Can't wait to hear this.
So remember, this was submitted in the afternoon where I had number 4, Oklahoma. Yeah, Kansas is a better choice at 4. We're just going to put Kansas at 4 because, let's face it, I don't like anybody at 4 particularly, but I got my ass kicked because I put Oklahoma at 4. For all of you that are watching right now, it looks like Oklahoma's about to fall. That game was in the last minute. Last time I checked, Oklahoma was down. So
41-27.
I got them at 4. And that's no good. So let's go on next up. At number 3, I had Ohio State. And I know Ohio State balled out today. And I know how good Ohio State looked against Wisconsin. I think Ohio State's done everything right. So before you at me and tell me how much better they are, they'll have time to prove it on the field. Because at number 2, I have Alabama. And I know that this becomes controversial because obviously that means I have a team that struggled today at number 1 with Georgia at the top. I still feel good about that. Yeah. Georgia had a game that they're going to regret, and they're going to look back at Kent State. But Spencer Hall told us earlier on the college football show that once a year, Georgia's going to do that. They did it against Kent State. So my top team is still Georgia. They've shown me too much defensively and offensively for me not to believe in them. The best part about this, before all of you at me, is that 1, 2, and 3 will work it out on the field. Y'all, I don't know who the number 4 team is because I don't think there's a number 4 team that's great. Sam, I think you're next on this list.
All right.
Maybe you have better luck at 4 than I did?
Remember, this was made in the afternoon.
Oh,
Sam,
we're going to apologize
what
again.
What is your week 4 top 4? Maybe it's better than your team getting wiped this week. But go ahead, Sam. Drop it for us.
My number 4 is USC.
Why do you say it like that?
Here's the thing with USC. Yes, they give up a ton of points, but, and this is a big but, USC is number 1 nationally in turnover margin at plus 3.33. So I'm going to let them give up some points. If they can turn the ball over quite a bit, Lincoln Riley has lost 10 games in his 6 years as a head coach. Caleb Williams is an electric quarterback, so that's who I'm going to go with.
Wait, do we have a score in that USC game currently?
It's 7-3
Moving
right
along.
now.
Moving along.
All right.
Ohio State is coming in at number 3 for my picks in the top 4. Might move up to a really good performance tonight. We saw C.J. Stroud, 147 yards with 2 TDs in the first half. Ohio State doesn't really have a tough game till the end of October when they go to Penn State, so I think they can really pick up some traction here. Alabama, number 2, handling Vandy tonight as expected. Now they go to Alabama next week, and then they got A&M, and then they're at home the following week. They go to Neyland the week after. So this is a tough stretch. I think we'll find out a lot about Alabama over the next couple of weeks. And then finally, number 1 for me, UGA. The Dogs, 3 turnovers today. 3 turnovers today was a little bit of a question mark. Kent State gave them a ride. But look, the Golden Flashes showed up today. They did their job. They had a tough start to the season as well, which we talked about. So, yeah, that's what I got for the top 4.
All right, we'll go with Skubie's top 4. That was great. I'm going to speed through this a little bit because we're running out of time. At number 4, I got Clemson. Now, I know what you're going to say. Is this team really a top 4 team? Yes. Unlike their 4th team, they actually are winning today.
Fair
DJ Uiagalelei threw for a career-high 5 touchdown passes. That offense stepped up. The defense has been the bright light. If they can both come together and perform at that level, they'll be fine. Number 3, I don't think the top 3 is an argument with any of us. I'm gonna go with the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes played really great. C.J. Stroud looking good. They got off to a fast start. And then number 2, Roll Tide, baby. Right now, them and Georgia are like 1A, 1B. You really can't go wrong either way, but you love what Alabama is doing. They're handling business the way that they're supposed to. So as you know, Georgia is my number 1 team. Why? Because the Dogs have no reason to not be off the top spot. National champs. They have Brock Bowers going crazy. Stetson Bennett is running that offense to perfection, and they handle business as well today, even though they faced a little bit of adversity. So how do we feel about my 4?
Much better than mine.
Fitz?
Kansas is number 4. What?
Kansas, number 4. We're on the Kansas train.
We're all on the Kansas train.
Thank you for watching. That is the wrap-up presented by ALLSTATE. For Sam Ravech, for Jason Fitz, and for your boy Skubie Mageza and Shelby, and our director Becky, thank you for watching. Y'all have a good night. Peace.